Alright, so we've got our title, we've got our paragraph, we've got our image. Now we want to add some more content. Now, I kind of just have this snake picture in here for no reason, and so I kind of want to add something that will make it make sense why there's a picture of a snake there. So today, I'm going to show how to make a list. And there's two different types of lists, and listing can be kind of tedious, and so bear with me. But lists can be helpful for giving reasons for things, or maybe you want to list your hobbies, or you want to list a list of materials that someone might need to use for a project, or a list of conditions. And there's a lot of things you can do with lists. You can change the bullet points and the fonts, but today we're going to be simple, and I'm just going to show you the basic structure and how also to get rid of points if you don't want them. So here we have the code, and if you remember from last time how it works, but I'll go ahead and go through the structure again. We have our doc type at the top. We have our HTML, which includes all of our code. We have our header, which right now is empty, but this is where we would put behind the scenes things. And the body, where all the visual stuff goes. We'll be working in the body completely in this video because it's all visual things. Here we have our header. Our biggest header, H1, is my web page. You can see that right here. Then we have a smaller header, Lorem Ipsum, and our paragraph, which you can see right here. And this right here is a container. It's like we put the title and the paragraph in a box so that we can move the box around together. So these two things are in a box together, and the image is by itself down here. I'm going to put the list inside of this content box because I want it to be right under here next to the snake and kind of take up some of that white space right there. So I'll need to come inside of my box. And there's two different types of lists. You can have ordered lists. Ordered lists. And don't forget our closing tag. Oops. Ordered lists. And I'll show you another type after I'm done. So here we have our list is made, but there's nothing inside of our list now. To add an item, there are two different types of lists, ordered lists and unordered lists. I'm going to show you an ordered list first, and then I'll show you what an unordered list looks like. So here we have the structure of the list, but there's nothing actually inside. To add an item to the list, we need to add list item, which is what LI stands for. We can say, we'll just put beep. We'll put two. We're going to put two list items so you can see how it's structured. We'll put beep, boop. See here it's under number 1 and number 2. If we change it to an unordered list, the numbers would go away and they would just become regular bullet points. Now, this looks kind of odd. You can't even tell what we're even listing. I mean, other than the fact that it's obscure anyways. So I'm going to add, just like we have a title for our paragraph, I'm going to add a title for my list, and I'm going to call it Reasons Why I Like Snakes. So we can change this to They're Cool. cuddly. Oops. They're quiet. And yes. Oops. We'll say they're cute. Oh, and I forgot up here. We need to have this be in H3. Alright. Save. So now we have a title and we have a list. And you can add as many list items as you need, and you can, just like how we moved the picture and the paragraph around and added padding and margins, you can also do that within list items. Lists are very tedious because you can only do one at a time, like each one is an individual object, but there are some shortcuts that you can learn. Another thing that you can do is change the bullet points. And for this one, I'm just going to do list style type. And this will change what the bullet points look like. And for this one, I'm just going to do none because that's probably the most practical use. If you wanted to like have them be fancy, you can have them be check marks or whatever you wanted. But in terms of like necessity, you either probably want numbers, bullet points, or none at all. So if you just wanted things to be in a list fashion, this is how you would do it. Let's hope this works. Fingers crossed. No, they did not save it. Style equals list style type. None. Oh, I know what I did wrong. So, I can go through some like basic styling points here. So we have our word, style, alt, source. And then style, alt, and source will equal, and then we have our opening and closing quotation marks. And then inside, this purple stuff will be our individual commands. So list style type, height, float, position, and then you have a colon, your value, and then a semicolon at the end. Get out, Ari! Just go!
I was trying to be quiet. Sorry.
And so what I was forgetting was my semicolon. No? Is that not what I was forgetting? Oh! I'm sorry. I'm not actually adding it to the list, I'm adding it to the H3. Sorry about that. So yeah, we're not trying to change the header, we're trying to change the list. So now our UL is being styled. There we go. And so now we don't have bullet points, but I kind of like the bullet points, so we're going to get rid of that for this. I just wanted to show you that that was something that you could do. And yeah, so now you can add different types of content to your page.